Welcome to another Excel at Excel tutorial. Today I will be talking about how to use a SUMIF function and a SUMIFS function to calculate sums. So what is a SUMIF function? A SUMIF function is a function that allows you to calculate the total uh, with a condition. So let me show you what this means. So for example, we have this data set of sales data in these cities with products being sold and the amount of profit made from this transaction. All right, so let's see how this works. So if I want to calculate the a total amount of profit made from deals of less than $50, I use a SUMIF function, and look at what that means. So first of all, we need the range. So the range, in this case, the range is the same as the range of the criteria. We'll explain what that means later. But in this case, the range is this part, this profit column, and the criteria is if it's less than $50. So when you input that, it spits out 1,117. So that means all the numbers here, all the transactions with profits of less than $50, it gives you a total amount of $1,117. So in this case, we see that the range and the criteria, the range and the sum range are the same things. So the range, essentially, in a SUMIF function, is the range of the criteria. But in this case, the criteria and the sum range, the criteria of the range of the criteria and the range of the sum is the same range. So it is this column. So let me show you what that means in this case. So profit made from oranges requires me to add up this column of profit, but the condition in this case, oranges, comes from this column. So in this case, the criteria column, the criteria range and the sum range is actually different. So let's try this out. So the range part here is actually the criteria range in this case, so column B, and criteria in this case is matching, so I'm just going to type orange. And the sum range is the column C for profit. So this adds up all the instances where the profit is the where the product is an orange, and the profits made from these transactions. So we get a total of $1,389. And in this case, it's the same thing. So let's try that out. SUMIF, and in this case, the criteria range uh, in this case of the profit made from San Francisco stores, it's column A, and the value is San Francisco. And the sum range in this case is also column C. So you get $534 from this same thing. So now we're going to venture into the SUMIFS function, which is basically the same thing as the SUMIF function, but with more conditions. So you can impose multiple conditions on the same transaction. So now I'm going to combine these two conditions, namely that it's made from oranges and that it's made from a San Francisco store. So now it has to be from oranges sold in San Francisco stores. So now we're going to use the SUMIFS function, and you notice now it tells you what to do. The sum range now is the column C for profit, and now the criteria range is now you can have multiple criteria ranges and multiple criterias. So we're going to start with column B as the first criteria range, and in this case the criteria is that it's an orange, and criteria range 2 in this case is um, the column A, and the criteria is San Francisco. And this will match all the instances where both criteria are satisfied. So we get a number that is $267 for oranges sold in San Francisco. So this is a quick overview of what we can do with the SUMIFS and SUMIF functions. For more details on how to summarize data like this and in a easy way, you can check out my video on pivot tables, and that might help you a bit because they can do this in very quickly with a few clicks. So check that out, and please subscribe. Subscribing allows you to see future videos coming from Excel at Excel and powerful tips that can help you succeed at Excel and Excel at Excel. So please subscribe with the button on the right hand side on the top corner, and we'll see you next time.